unofficial commentators back at it again. JJ98 from Brooklyn.
What it do, baby?
Paki over here from Philly. Football season has officially started. Last week of no football. Can't wait, man. What is up?
Nothing, man. Looking forward to a season of football. I'm without a place right now. I feel a little awkward that we drafted so long ago, and I've just been opening the app and looking at my team, not really making any moves, and then at the same time, not seeing any points on the board. I'm ready to get this going.
Yeah, man, I know what you mean, man. I'm anxious for football to start, for sure. Yeah, so the draft was interesting, man. A lot of drama in this draft that we had, bro.
Oh man, I loved it. We should always do this. 2 weeks before the season starts at 4 p.m. Shit, we should do it even earlier. Let's do it at noon next year.
Yeah, based on that there was so much controversy in the draft, I figured that our producer Dago, or he figures, our producer Dago wants to just put in some of our reactions for this draft. So why don't we just put in a couple seconds of silence so Dago could do his thing and, show us what the guys thought about this.
Yeah, that sounds like enough time. Anyway, when we talk, I know who had reactions. So when we get to those teams, you can just put those reactions in there, and they'll tell you what they thought about drafting at 4 p.m. 2 weeks before the actual season started.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I know. Honestly, I didn't want to draft at 4 either. That was the time that was put there. Nobody argued, so I didn't want to be the penis.
What the hell are you talking about, you moron? You set the time.
No, I said the time, but I was like, does anyone?
So why would you put it at a time that you don't want? I mean, put it at 9 o'clock and then see if nobody complains. You put it at 4 to see if nobody says anything. What the hell is that about?
I always
Really,
put a random
nigga?
time, man. You know what I mean? And always people say like, no, let's do this, do that.
Oh shit, random times. I love it. Let's do it at 2 in
But
the
you know
morning.
what? It serves as a lesson. Now I bet you for next year's draft, everybody's going to be more involved in the damn time. I bet you that.
Spin zone. Way to flip it, Paki. Good job.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got for today, man?
All right. So draft is done. We don't have anything really to talk about as no games happened last week, unless you're considering preseason. But preseason week 4 is it's nothing. It's a bunch of no names that are running out there, and there's nothing really that I want to mention. Unless you want to talk about some of the contract disputes today as we record. Still no new clarity on Ezekiel Elliott. It doesn't seem like there's any headway being made on Melvin Gordon. I saw that Jared Goff got extended. That seems like a big fuck you in the face of the Dallas Cowboys. But outside of that, I don't have much there. So in terms of our show, I think you wanted to rate how the draft went for all the participants. So by all means, I think as we talk about the head-to-head matchups that we have for this coming week, you should give me what your thoughts are on the entire team and the way they drafted, and then we'll make some picks. What you think?
Yeah, sounds good. More than a draft grade, I mean, Yahoo already does that for all of us. So you guys want to see a draft grade, you go there. I'm just going basically on a team grade. I mean, no injuries have happened. Everybody has a clean roster, right? Everybody pretty much has a roster going into week 1 that they're comfortable with, at least the people that drafted. So the teams are what they are. I mean, no changes have been made. So it's just pretty much like a grading of what the team looks like. I don't really care if you reach or not for a player. You know what I mean? That's up to the Yahoo to figure that shit out. Yeah, man, I'm good with that.
All right, well, let's get started then. Let's talk about the first matchup. And this year, the first matchup we're going to be talking about includes one of our commissioners, yourself. The Rough Raiders is going up against, this is a clever name now. This is unusual in Omar. Mac Cafe Express O. See, I see what he did there. He put the O at the end because he's Omar. And then Mac Cafe because he drafted Christian McCaffrey with his first pick. So go ahead. Tell me what the grade is for Mac Cafe Express O.
That is a pretty good name. I got to give you that. If we were grading names, I'd give that one a 10 out of 10. All right, so just for you guys to understand how this rating works.
A 10 out of 10?
For that name? Oh, that name is perfect.
Christ. I mean, there's some layers, but it's not the cleverest thing I've heard.
Right,
honestly, I'd make McCaffrey Espresso. I mean, it's close enough. All right, go ahead.
All right, fine. So just for you guys to understand, so the way that we did this rating is we went position by position: quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end, flex, kicker.
Missionary, doggy style, reverse cowgirl,
Yeah, flex, kicker, IDP, and bench overall.
Abe
Um,
Lincoln, George
a
Washington's,
rating from 1 to 10 on each one, and then we did
Cleveland
an
Streamers.
average, and that is the grading. So for McAfee Espresso, I have an overall grading of 7.75. How specific? We're going with decimal points.
Wow.
7.75. I give him a C, or well, not a C, a 7 at the quarterback position with Philip Rivers. I think Philip Rivers is a solid quarterback. It's decent. You're not failing with that one, right? But I don't think he's anything that crazy. At the wide receiver position, an 8 out of 10, solid 8 out of 10. You got both of the Chargers receivers paired up with Philip Rivers. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be a boomer bust for Omar. Um, obviously. So if they do good, he'll do good. At the running back position, 8 out of 10 with McCaffrey and Ballage. So I gave you an 8 out of 10 just because of Christian McCaffrey. I think he will be the number one overall running back in fantasy by the end of the fantasy season. Ballage, or however you say that, Ballage,
Balaj.
Ballage, he hasn't proven shit yet, so I can't really give him any credit. David Njoku, 9 out of 10, one of my favorite tight ends coming into the season. Maybe he won't get as many receptions with all the targets there, but he definitely looks to be getting a lot of touchdowns. And at the flex position, another 9 out of 10 with Mark Ingram. A starting running back at the flex in a run-heavy offense is always a good way to go. Kicker C with Matt Prater, Detroit. Matt Prater's a great kicker. Detroit sucks.
Now, one thing here, it's funny you say that no changes have been made. He didn't actually draft Mark Ingram. That was the trade. I actually traded Mark Ingram.
No. Yeah, I mean, like the teams are set right now. These are the teams. Like whether they've traded or not, this is where we're going. That's why I'm saying it's not a draft grade. It's how your team is looking at the beginning of the season.
Okay.
Because it's not the same when we're going midway through the season where your first round pick got injured, right? You know what I mean? You had to pick up a waiver wire. Now your team is looking weak when maybe you didn't. It's not even your fault. So like every move that's done right now is based on 100% the commissioner's decision. I'm sorry, the team manager's decision. Kicker, we said 7 out of 10 for Matt Prater. He's all right. And your IDPs, Baker, Adams, and Smith. See, I only give you a 7 out of 10 on the IDPs because Baker hasn't done shit, but you're a Miami fan, so you picked him up, but you don't know anything about him yet. But I'm sure he looks great in training camp. Finally, bench, another 7 out of 10 for the bench. Why a 7 out of 10? I mean, he has some solid upside players, but none of them are actually starters. So, except for D.D. Westbrook, but he sucks. So, 7.75 for Omar on that one.
All right. What about the Rough Raiders?
All right, I was a little tough on myself, bro, because honestly, I didn't get the team that I wanted. I've been pretty quiet after the draft. I came in with a plan in the draft, and it just didn't work out how I wanted. So, quarterback, I got a C. If Philip Rivers is a C, I mean, 7 out of 10, which is a C because I kind of got like letter grades too. So if Ben Roethlisberger is a C, I think him and Philip Rivers are about the same. So 7 out of 10. Wide receiver, I think that's my strongest position. I gave myself a 9 out of 10. There's no way nobody can ever have a 10 out of 10 in this league. We're 14 teams, so nobody has 2 first-round picks to be a 10 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 seems solid with Odell Beckham and Tyreek Hill, 2 big playmakers. At the running back position, I like what I got. 2 solid players. They're not very great. They're not, but their floor is not very low. Chris Carson and Sonny Michel, so that's an 8 out of 10. Tight end, that's my weakest position by far, a 6 out of 10 with TJ Hawkinson. I love the kid, but he hasn't proven shit. So I cannot give him a high grade on that one, right?
I'm
So
starting to sense a theme here. Hasn't proven shit is a lot of the reason why you're taking points away from players, but okay.
yeah, it's not just that. I mean, if you're a guy that Balaje is not even a starter, right? Baker is a linebacker in Miami, who's a bad team. So Hawkinson is a tight end that he's penciled in as a starter, but tight ends are hit or miss. And so it's not the same as if I say Kyler Murray, that's, you know what I mean, first-round pick, projected high, but whatever. Flex, 8 out of 10 with DJ Moore. I really like DJ Moore this year. I think he's going to take a step up in the Panthers offense, assuming Cam Newton stays healthy. Kicker, 6 out of 10, another weak position. Daniel Carlson, I figured I needed a Raider on my team, so I might as well make it the kicker. You know, Oakland Raiders, so screw it. Anyways, kickers is like a coin toss anyways. Who cares? My defense, another 6 out of 10. I just filled out that roster recently, so Buda Baker, C.J. Mosley, Sean Williams. Sean Williams is my favorite player on that group. And finally, I give my bench. I think it's a 9 out of 10. I really like my bench because all the players on my bench are starters on their teams, and if not starters, Darrell Henderson is the backup to Todd Gurley, which is basically a starter. Dion Lewis is the backup to Derrick Henry. He gets snaps like a starter, even though he's not a starter. Anthony Miller's a starter. Christian Kirk is a starter. Corey Davis is number one, and Peyton Barber's the number one. So they're not flashy dudes, but at least they're on the field. So I like my depth. Overall, 7.3 for myself.
7.3 for yourself. You rated yourself lower than McCafe Espresso. Okay, cool. So, all
To
right,
be
what's
fair,
the?
I actually have the lowest rating in all of the teams. After I'm looking at it, so I rated myself lower than everybody.
Yeah, that sounds like some millennial shit. That doesn't sound fair. That just sounds like, oh, I wanted to be the lowest one so people couldn't say shit about my rating.
I'm still picking myself to win. Jay, make sure you put in your pick on the website so we can track it.
Correct. You're picking yourself. I'm actually going to take a flyer here and damn. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to go with McCafe Espresso. The name won me over. I like the. Oh man, no. You know what? I'm going to change it right here. Never mind. I'm going to go with Rough Raiders. I still like the team, Omar. Don't get me wrong. I hope this doesn't become like a theme going forward. But the matchups you have this week, I don't like. Indianapolis's defense showed last year that they're a lot better. I always hear rumors that defenses don't carry over from year to year, but you know you're not going to go from one of the top five defenses to like the 20th, right? I didn't hear of any big names leaving. If anything, they got a little bit stronger. So you got three players going up against Indy. You got McCaffrey going up against the Rams. Their defense is underrated, but it's good. Baltimore's probably one of the best defenses, no matter what decade we're in, and
Yeah.
that's who Balaj is facing. So yeah, I just don't like the matchups this year. Like the team, not digging the matchup. I'm going to go with the Rough Raiders.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I mean, Omar drafting two rookie Dolphins into his team when everybody projects the Dolphins to be one of the worst teams in football. I mean, whatever.
All right. All right. Well, ready to talk about the next matchup. So we got G. I'm getting really fucking sick and tired of G playing with our league the way he is.
That one gets a
So
1 out of 10 for that fucking name.
so he doesn't want to change the name. He thinks we don't play for enough money. He doesn't care that he auto drafted, um, and I don't mind that he's not complaining about auto drafting. But the fact that he drafted right before me and he took a lot of the players that I wanted, the computer took a lot of the players that I wanted. He ended up with a stunning team. I mean, without a doubt, he got a great team. But these are guys that I probably would have picked up, and now I'm left without him, jerk. All right. Anyway, what do you? It's G versus Guys Baby. What do you think about G?
Yeah, G, I got him with an 8.3 overall. So he is higher than the past two teams that we went out. He has a 9 out of 10 at the quarterback position with Deshaun Watson. At the wide receiver positions with DeAndre Hopkins and Amari Cooper, two guys that I expect to blow up. Another 9 out of 10 at the tight end position with George Kittle, another beast. Another 9 out of 10 at the kicker position with Justin Tucker, one of the best fantasy kickers out there. Another 9 out of 10 at the IDP position with Kevin Byard, T.J. Watt, and Kyle Van Noy. I think that's a solid ass defensive team. A lot of people might not see it because the projections don't show it. But for our fantasy purposes, I really like these guys.
I'm not sold.
And followed by his flex position, an 8 out of 10 at flex with Calvin Ridley. He's a hit or miss guy every week because he's the number 2 in a great offense. But overall, throughout the year, he gives a lot of points. The biggest weakness here, running back, I only give it a 7 out of 10. That's the biggest because you got Tariq Cohen and Rashad Penny, two backup running backs.
Should be
That could
lower.
even that could even be a 6 out of 10. Yeah. And what got the worst out of this team? This is where the real team has weakness is the bench. A 6 out of 10. So they're really loaded up at top with really good starters, but that bench kind of sucks ass, bro. Jamison Crowder and the Jets, ugh. I mean, he could be good some days, but who knows? Devin Funches in Indy without Andrew Luck, ugh. Ish Smith, the backup to Devontae Freeman, that's a handcuff. Jacoby Brissett, he shouldn't even be owned. Hunter Renfro, I love him. I'm a Raider fan. He looks great. But fantasy purposes, I don't know what he's going to do. And finally, you have a backup kicker. Just for having a backup kicker, you lose points. Screw that.
Yeah, so far you're not doing great on your ratings, man. Like he should lose major points on bench, and that should bring his average way down.
Yeah, 6 out of 10, but the bench is not is I tally it as a group. It's worth the same as any other position. Not in
This is a very
6 out of
top-heavy
10.
team, and God forbid you get any injuries, it's going to go down in a blaze of glory really, really quickly. I do like the fact that you may have potentially the number one overall fantasy quarterback and the number one overall fantasy wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. I like the
and
stack.
and potentially the number one overall tight end. So all
Yep,
that brings the rating up.
for sure. You did secure three of the major four skill positions. You totally sold out at running back. Like, oh, I don't know what the hell's going
Yeah,
on
but
there,
the fact is though, those two running backs can be solid, right? Because if Chris Carson gets hurt, which he is injury prone, and Rashad Penny's still going to have a role in a run heavy team, and Tyreek Cohen, I mean, he's going to be there for pass. Like he's going to be. This is PPR, so he'll get something. So they're not horrible. They're just not studs. You know what I mean?
yeah, they're not set it and forget it running backs. All right.
Exactly.
8.3, I think, is a little high, but hey, man, it's your ranking. All right. So, guys, baby, what do you got?
Guys, baby. All right, let's start with the strengths. A 9 out of 10 at wide receiver position with Juju Smith-Schuster and Mike Evans. I love that combo. Big guys, touchdown heavy dudes. Um, Another 9 out of 10 for his bench. I love this bench. Matt Breida is a backup running back that's probably going to have starter running back potential. Valdez Scantley with Green Bay, I think he has super high upside. Will Fuller, if he doesn't get hurt, he's a beast. Lamar Jackson, solid backup quarterback if you're running with a backup quarterback. He is great for fantasy, even if he doesn't throw much, he runs a lot. Justin Jackson looks like he might have a big role with the Chargers since Melvin Gordon is taking his holdout into the season. So we're looking at Justin Jackson at potentially a starting running back. You know what I mean? And Ozuma is the only one kind of like sucks, but the other ones are all to me fantasy starters. So 9 out of 10 at the bench. Then followed by other strengths at the quarterback, 8 out of 10 for Jared Goff. I think this is a guy that can give you a solid 20 to 25 numbers every week. Tight end, 8 out of 10 for OJ Howard with Bruce Arians. I love what he can bring to the table. Finally, flex 8 out of 10 with Darius Geis. Man, he looked good in preseason. I hope he stays healthy because this kid looks legit as bug. And then the weak point, again, running back, 7 out of 10. David Montgomery looks good, looks great. I love this kid. He might be good, but Jordan Howard's bringing you down right there, man. So if you had another solid running back, it would have been higher. 7 out of 10. Overall, eight, a solid 8, just a flat 8 out of 10 for the team.
That's really weird. All right. So, what if he were to move Geis up to running back and bring Breda up to the flex?
Flex would drop about to 7 out of 10, in my opinion, from 8 to 10, and then running back would go up to 8, and then you have the same exact rating.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you got? What's your pick here?
I mean, I'm gonna go with G, bro, because I right now the bench don't mean shit in week 1. That team is way too top heavy, bro. I'm taking G.
Uh,
He's one injury away from losing his fantasy league. If he's healthy, bro, this guy's gonna be legit as fuck all the way through.
I'll give you that. And also, looking at some of the matchups, I think he has a better option here in terms of defenses playing against. So, Mari Cooper playing against the Giants, Tariq Cohen against Green Bay, Brashad Penny against Cincinnati, for as much or as little play as he gets. George Kittle's playing against Tampa Bay. Uh, Tampa Bay, Justin Tucker. By the time game day comes around, we don't know what the state of the games are going to be with a storm looming over Florida. But that said, I just like some of these matches better than what I'm seeing over on Guys Baby. So Jared Goff is playing against Carolina. That's a tougher matchup. Juju Smith-Schuster is going to have a tough time against New England. San Francisco, nothing to write home about, but they are playing in Tampa Bay, so it's going to be uh, kind of a coin toss in terms of how well they play, what the conditions are going to be, etc. It's like you're going to depend on Jameis Winston having to play against the elements and against the defense. We don't know how well they're going to do. All this being said, yeah, I think I'm siding with you this week, and I'm also going to go with G.
right. So far we both got the same picks. Sounds fun.
so far. We'll run into some contention soon, I hope.
All right, man. Let's
All
see.
right. So next, we're going to talk about what they do, baby, versus Cause el Abusador,
What
fresh
do
off
you
a
do,
trip
baby?
to DR, where he didn't get a chance to draft his team, but he seems pretty happy with the results he got.
The trip was
Uh,
so good. He don't even care. He had
yeah,
such a good time at DR. He don't even care what happened. It
listen,
was
man,
worth
I'm
it. It was
I'm
worth it.
I'm so happy and proud for cousin Juan. Like he has a totally different demeanor. He's a different person. Hopefully, it translates to fantasy success. Coming off a year where he went 0-20 in fantasy basketball, like this guy needs to get back on track.
Holy shit! I didn't even remember that. He did.
Shit, yeah. I mean, his overall manager rating in Yahoo is as low as it's ever going to be after an
Oh
0-20
shit.
season.
Oh god. All right, so let's get to the ratings then. Let's start with what it do, baby. There's no way I can read that name without being in Kawhi Leonard's voice, or better
You're
said,
not you're not doing it right. Is what it do, baby.
what it do, baby. Is that better? What
Yeah.
it do, baby. Doggo, clip that in right there. All right, so first of all, what it do, baby, is a fucking balanced ass team based on my analysis and rating, balanced from head to toe. I only gave him a 9 out of 10 at one position, which is the running back position with James Conner and Joe Mixon. Two work horses that are gonna be in the field all day, every day, even though the Bengals suck. Joe Mixon's going to be on the field the whole time. So I like these two running backs. And then after that, dude, it's just a solid 8 out of 10 across almost every position. Russell Wilson at quarterback. A lot of people don't like Russell Wilson for fantasy. I love him. And I think this year he has better weapons and a better O-line. Wide receiver with T.Y. Hilton and Adam Thielen, an 8 out of 10. If Andrew Luck was still playing, that would have been a 9 out of 10. But T.Y. Hilton will dip a bit. It will happen. Um, Flex, 8 out of 10 with Alshon Jeffrey, number one wide receiver with Carson Wentz back and a uploaded and a Philly offense that now has a running game, which only benefits Alshon Jeffrey. Kicker, 8 out of 10 with Bill Mayers, the Dallas Cowboys. They will be kicking a lot with Dak Prescott can't get a first down in the end zone, Dak. So that's going to help your kicker. IDP, another solid 8 out of 10.
What was that nickname for Dak Prescott?
Can't get a first down on third down in the red zone. So I got a kick. That's what he does.
Dak at
Dak.
the end. Like I like
Yeah.
that part. Okay.
Dak. Uh, IDP 8 out of 10 on that one again. Solid performers here. A lot of tackles, not a lot of sacks, not a lot of interceptions, not a lot of anything, but solid tackle performance from these guys. So it's an 8 out of 10. Solid dudes. And finally, the bench, another 8 out of 10 for the bench. And I mean, this could have easily been a 9 out of 10 if you would have had just some running back there that I can depend on. Because I don't like Gio Bernard. I don't know what the fuck he's going to bring to the table. And Kareem Hunt's going to be out for like 11 weeks or 10 weeks or some shit. And when he comes back, who knows how much of the offense he's going to be in. So it is a question mark. But then solid receivers, man. With A.J. Green, Marvin Jones, Geronimo Allison, Emmanuel Sanders, all four of those dudes are starting wide receivers in a 14-team league, period. And they're all on the bench. So a solid 8 out of 10 all across the board. Tight end will be the weakest position. I give it a 7 out of 10 because it's Kyle Rudolph. He's very touchdown dependent. So if he gets a touchdown, he's good. If not, you're not going to get many yards from him at all. So solid 8 out of 10 overall for the team. Obviously, that's what the average dictates.
Yeah, unlike a certain other manager who sold out for their tight end, I decided to punt the position, and I'm kind of banking on the future with Kareem Hunt and AJ Green. So I picked them up for the long run, not the short haul. And then Giovanni Bernard, he's nothing but a handcuff. Honestly,
Yeah,
he's just there in the event that I already got Joe Mixon. So if anything were to happen to him, I'm going to sub him in there. But I don't see any week where Giovanni Bernard gets a start otherwise.
I got you. Yeah, but if you would have gotten like a solid running back in there that you would have been able to plug and play at any moment, that would have been a perfect
I
bench.
mean, I had Mark
But it's
Ingram, but I
solid. It's
traded
still
him
solid.
for Adam Thielen. I think I upgraded there. And once AJ Green comes back, whomever isn't performing the best out of Jeffrey or Hilton may see some bench time, and I'll start AJ Green for sure because he is the man in Cincinnati. All right, tell me about Cuz el Abusador. What's your rating there?
Yo, cuz this team is like a little bit all over the place. It has like high spots, low spots. Let's start with the high spots as I'm doing recently. 9 out of 10 at the quarterback position with Aaron Rodgers. How can I rank that any less? Even with a new coach now, I expect him to do better again. I think they were done with what was his name, McCartney, Cart
Mike McCarthy.
McCarthy. Yeah, wide receiver position. 9 out of 10, my boy Antonio Brown. I don't know why everybody's so down on this dude, man. Clearly, John Gruden is ready to suck his dick at any time. He's gonna give him the ball every single fucking play. That's what it looks like. I mean, we're going by hard knocks. Um, Tyler Lockett, I love this kid. I think this kid made a huge improvement last year, and I think he's going to make a bigger improvement this year. Last year, he had a bunch of yards, only around 60 receptions. I'm expecting more receptions this year because I think his game is evolving. So I
And
like,
he's the number one guy in Seattle. No Doug
yeah,
Baldwin this year.
and he's the number one guy. So I expect him to keep evolving. Flex position, 9 out of 10. I love Kenyon Drake as a flex. He's the number one running back. Even though Miami's shitty, he's a guy that can give you 15 to 20 points any given week. I had him in fantasy last year. I know how dependent he is. He's healthy. So if he was a starting running back, for a flex, awesome. Kicker, 9 out of 10 with Harrison Butker, ranked number 2 kicker in fantasy football with the Kansas City Chiefs. If he doesn't get field goals, he's going to get a ton of extra points. Um,
Points are points. Get him how you get him.
Yeah, and then we got Vance McDonald, 8 out of 10 on that one. We're moving into the other tier right now of how I ranked him. Vance McDonald, if this guy is healthy, he's a touchdown machine. I love this tight end. He's a solid tight end, but he does have injury risks. The bench, an 8 out of 10 for that bench, man.
Are you saving the running backs, or did I just
Yeah,
miss it?
no, I'm
Okay.
saying that.
All right, got you.
8 out of 10 for the bench. I'm going by order, by strengths and weaknesses. Eight
Got
out
it.
of 10 for the bench. I think the bench is solid because you got Zeke Elliott, right? So this guy is going to bring everything up. But at this point, I cannot rate him as a starter because he might miss the first week. But I do think Zeke Elliott will join the Cowboys at some point during the season. And that's what it's looking like. I like Marquise Goodwin's upside. I love Cortland Sutton's upside. Kirk Cousins is a solid backup quarterback. And Ogumbawale, I don't even know where you have him. You could drop that, dude. That's fucking useless. A tight end, 8 out of 10. Vance McDonald I mentioned, and you have Jimmy Graham as a
Yeah,
solid
I'm
backup.
sorry to interrupt you there. Tampa Bay is going to be splitting runs between Ronald Jones and Peyton Barber. I don't know why you would pick up a Gumbawale. Maybe he heard something through the grapevines that I'm not aware of, but
I would drop
he'd be the third guy on that totem pole, and
in a
the,
sucky
the
team.
yeah, and the other two are going to be already splitting carries. And like Paki said, it's such a shit defense that they're going to be throwing for sure. I want every part that I can out of the Tampa Bay receivers, not so much out of the running backs.
Right. So finally, the weaker spots are at the running back position with Tony Pollard and Kerryon Johnson. I like Kerryon Johnson. Tony Pollard, we don't know anything about him. Another case of I don't know anything about him. He's going to be in the Zeke
Zeke
Elliott.
who?
He's going to be in the Zeke Elliott role, but he is not Zeke Elliott, right? So,
Zeke who?
but I'm sure this rating will go even higher when Zeke comes in, but it would drop the rating on your bench. So that's why I like the way that I did this rating.
Zeke who?
Yeah, Zeke who. Um, Finally, the weakest spot in this team. This team is
That
the
would have been a cool
defense.
fantasy name, Zeke who?
This defense, man, I don't even know who the fuck these players are. Agnew,
Nope.
Kowski, and Callahan. I mean, I know who they are, but for fantasy purposes, they're fucking useless. You can drop those guys, and I can assure you nobody in this league is going to pick them up.
For
So that's a
sure.
6 out of 10. That's the weak spot right there. Bad defense, solid team. Overall, though, 8.1 rating for
Is
this
this
team.
like a boxing match? Is six the lowest you go?
Yeah, probably.
Ah, shit. I mean, I would have given that like a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, probably. I want to keep it fair. So yeah, 8.1 for this team as a solid.
8.1.
8.1. Yeah, there's a lot of upside in this team, bro. But there's also
What the fuck?
if defense is your weakest position in this league, then you're all right, bro. You can fucking pick up players from way.
Holy shit. I mean, at best, Kenyon Drake
8.1.
is splitting with Balaj. That's best case scenario. If Balaj doesn't end up beating him out, and Kenyon Drake was in a walking boot for all of preseason,
He's fine.
Vance McDonald, I mean, talk about touchdown dependent. If he doesn't get it, I'm not sure he gets a ton of yards. That's
Dude. I've seen Vance McDonald since fucking San Francisco. He gets yards. He gets catches. He's a solid tight end, and he's a blocker. So what do I like about
how
blocking
many
tight ends?
fucking points do you get for blocking
You don't, but you're always on the field. So if you're always on the field, you have a
and
chance to
not
make
getting the
things
ball?
happen. No, that you can't say that. This is a high octane offense, bro.
Wow.
High
All
octane
right.
offense.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate whatever he does to get James Conner more yards, but what the fuck? 8.1.
8.1. That's my rating for Cuz.
Shit. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. Who do you got this week?
It's a tough one, man. I'm gonna have to go with Cuz, bro, on this one. I'm not gonna pick you. I'm sorry, bro.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Cuz. I think Tony Pollard should have a good week against the Giants, at least this week. Kerryon Johnson should have a good week against Arizona. They fucking suck. Lockett versus Cincinnati, they suck. Antonio Brown versus Denver, I think he's gonna surprise people. Rodgers is the only one that's kind of like iffy. And Kenyon Drake versus Baltimore.
Rodgers is playing on Thursday against Chicago again. I
On
hear.
the
I
road.
always.
On the road.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I
even I wouldn't even start him, dude. Is that fair to say?
possibly. I mean, I don't know why you
Dude,
came out the gate and you were so high on Aaron Rodgers. Uh,
I mean, no, this is just week one. I mean, you remember what Khalil Mack did to them last year?
yeah, I do.
Damn.
And I remember him winning on a bad leg, but still, like,
Makes for fun discussion, bro. Makes for fun discussion. So it's
I sometimes sit back and I listen to these discussions that are being had. You guys act like some of these players do not age. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, 35. He's in a different system. I don't know if it's a better system. He's not necessarily backed up by a better running game. I don't know
right.
that the defense is
That
any
running
better.
game is way better, dude. Running game is way better.
It's the same as last year.
And he
Aaron
has better
Jones,
better receivers too. All the receivers were hurt last year, except Devontae.
same guys. All right.
And he
So
has a
you
mustache.
sweet. So you're picking cousin. That's all right. That's going to be the
Dude, have
first
you
point of
not seen his
contention.
mustache?
I've seen the mustache. It's a badass mustache.
That fucking mustache is worth the .1 that I gave him over you alone.
It's it's made me consider shaving off the beard and going full
I
mustache.
know, right?
Shit, but I don't think I'm cool enough to do it. Plus, I got a bald head, so that plays different here in New York. The bald head and mustache is reserved for a certain population. Anyway, pick to win. I'm gonna go with what it do, baby.
Of course. We got to get some controversy up in this shit, man.
I don't know how controversial it is, but all
Finally,
right.
we disagree on something.
Okay. Well, next matchup, we got the Gotham City Rogues defending champion against fucking 4 p.m. Daft. I understand that Brito has very little time now with a new baby. Congratulations. That seems to be how we get down in this league. There's a new baby, a new wedding, a new something every year. So congrats to Brito. And yeah, so he wasn't available, or he forgot, or he was finally finding a time to nap during 4 p.m. and he didn't get to Daft. So he's mad at the 4 p.m. Daft. Tell me what you think about these ratings.
Let's start with Gotham City Rogues, I guess, right? The champion, current champion. And just to tell you straight off the bat, this is my highest rated team out of all my ratings with an 8.3. Let's start with the.
Get
Yeah,
off his dick.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm not looking at managers. I'm looking at the teams, dude. Let's start. I mean, there's no weakness in this team. That's the point.
Mm,
There's no fucking weakness. If
go
you
for it.
find a weakness, tell me. I'm gonna tell you how I graded this shit. Strengths, running backs, 9 out of 10 at the running backs. David Johnson, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is gonna have a freaking. I'm assuming they stay healthy. He should have a solid fucking season. McCarthy hated running the ball for some unknown reason that doesn't make any sense. That should change. Aaron Jones, David Johnson, I love that. The flex, Tevin Coleman, he's going to be the number one running back there with Matt Breida. I know it's kind of like a mix, but Tevin Coleman is a solid running back in what should be a solid offense for San Francisco. Perfect for a flex. He could be a starting running back. That's a 9 out of 10. And then you have another 9. No, and then everything else across the board is just 8 out of 10. I just couldn't find any weakness. Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is healthier than ever. Again, if he stays healthy, should have a solid season. Not to mention that division is suckier than ever. The Giants and the Redskins, I don't think they're good defenses at all. And you're playing 4 games against those guys. Wide receiver, 8 out of 10. Love Brandon Cooks. Kenny Galladay is also a solid-ass receiver that should get you a bunch of points on PPR. 8 out of 10 tight end with Eric Ebron. It would have been a 9 out of 10 if we had Andrew Luck, but 8 out of 10 Eric Ebron. This guy's a double-digit touchdown guy. I believe he will have it again.
And that's all he is.
But
Yes, he has a connection with Jacoby Brissett, but all he is is the end zone guy.
But I said double-digit touchdowns, bro. You think that's little? Double digit.
That's all he is. All right. So if
Is it 14?
he's not going to get double digit touchdowns in one game, obviously, right? So he's going to get them one game at a time. So he'll get at most what, like 12 yards and a touchdown, and what's that, like
Nah,
7 points
dude,
every
he's
game?
not 12 yards and a touchdown guy. He had like 700 yards and double-digit touchdowns last year. So if he gets over 500 yards and double-digit touchdowns, that is extremely
I
high
don't know what his
fantasy
deficit
performance.
is and why he can't get more time on the field, but Jack Doyle plays more
Blocking,
than Eric Ebron.
blocking. It's
He doesn't
blocking.
block.
He's not a great blocker. That's the thing.
All right, well there you go. Your point used
Kicker,
against you. I mean, this
kicker,
guy doesn't get on the
kicker.
field
But you
enough.
know when he's in the end zone. Kicker,
Right. Yeah. So he'll get touchdowns that are like a couple yards in.
kicker. 8 out of 10 with Jake Elliott. Philly should have a high octane offense. I like a kicker and a high octane offense. IDP. I love these fucking IDP players that you got in Levante David, Corey Littleton, and Collins. I love these
Landon Collins.
guys. Landon Collins. These guys are freaking solid as hell. They should give you solid points all around. And finally, the bench, man. Bench again. 8 out of 10. LaShawn McCoy. They named him a freaking starter already. Andy Reid is in love with this guy. Gallup is also a solid number 2 wide receiver. Jordan Reed, a solid backup tight end. Tyrell Williams, starting wide receiver at the number 2 spot for the Raiders. So he should have some good weeks. Debo Samuel, extremely high upside guy, and Devin Singletary is the starting running back for the Buffalo Bills. You can plug this guy in the starting lineup as a starting running back. I love
Jordan
this team from
Reed,
head to
as
toe.
of September 2nd, is still on concussion protocol. How many concussions is that for that dude in his career? Like this guy, somebody needs to walk him through the doors and just not let him in. Just take his key card and never allow him back on the stadium.
Damn,
This dude is going to end up losing his mind. Like, this is fucked up. How do you keep putting him out on the field? 6 concussions?
got bills to pay, bro.
Shit.
Got bills to pay.
All right. So, what was the rating then overall?
8.3, man. 8.3.
8.3.
That was my highest rating out of all of them.
Sweetness. All right. This week he's going up against fucking 4 p.m. Daft. This is where I would like to leave the opening to fill in with the reaction to fucking 4 p.m. Daft. Dago, take it away. He edits, so he can cut and then sub it back in, and we can just
Yeah.
keep going, right? All right, so go ahead. Tell me about fucking 4 p.m.
I
Daft.
mean, I don't understand why this guy's complaining. I mean, I know auto drafting sucks, right? You don't get to pick your guys, but this team is not bad at all, dude. This team is pretty good. Running backs, I give him a 9 out of 10. You got Saquon Barkley and fucking Damian Williams. Like,
First pick
what the
overall?
fuck do you expect? You got 2 like first round running backs. A running back, the best running back in football, arguably, and the running back in the best offense in football. What the hell else do you want, dude? Jesus. At the flex, I'm giving him a 9 out of 10 as well. I'm assuming that at the flex he's going to start Marlon Mack, which would be the number 1 running back for Indianapolis. I'm assuming that. If not, I mean, you could still put in there Cooper Kupp as your wide receiver, and you still have a great flex. Let me see, and then you have quarterback position. 8 out of 10 for the quarterback position with Cam Newton. Cam Newton has solid receivers. I expect him to have a good year, assuming he keeps, again, I hate saying this again, but assuming he stays healthy. Wide receivers, 8 out of 10. Taj Boyd, Cooper Kupp, Golden Tate when he comes back. You know, I think 8 out of 10 is a solid for these wide receivers. Let me see what else. Tight
I go
end.
lower. That's a little high.
Tight end Austin Hooper, 8 out of 10. I think Austin Hooper is another guy that is going to surprise a lot of people. This guy looks freaking good. I think he looks – in the preseason, he made a couple of plays that I'm like, he wasn't able to do that last year. So I like Austin Hooper a lot, 8 out of 10. That's my personal preference. The kicker, 7 out of 10. That's like one of the weaknesses maybe. You know, Kyle Farbairn from Houston, whatever. They should be a good offense, but I don't know. And then IDP, you got 8 out of 10 for the IDP. Schobert, Khalil Mack, and Demario Davis, another solid linebacker core. Khalil Mack won't give you that many tackles, but he will give you the sacks, he'll give you the fumbles, he'll give you all that shit. So I like that group. And finally, the bench, 7 out of 10 for the
How the
bench.
hell did Khalil Mack go undrafted?
I mean, because the thing with the Khalil Mack, I'm glad you asked. The way that we have the things, I mean, the way that we have the scoring setting up, Khalil Mack is a guy that will give you 5 sacks in one game, and they'll go 3 games without a sack. And the damage that he does when you're watching the game which is pressuring the quarterback. You know what I mean? Containing the run, all that stuff. That don't work. It's not worth shit in fantasy. So it's kind of like that. If you look at his ratings, he'll give you 20 points one week and they'll give you 3 points another week. You know, so it's up and down. So that's what it is. But the bench, 7 out of 10 with the bench.
I had my eye on Demario Davis, and then I decided to go with Devin White instead. I know it's a rookie, but I'm expecting big things out of the
That's a
rookie.
good
Yeah,
rookie though. That's a good
yeah,
one.
I decided to go young there.
Yeah. So 8 out of 10 overall for fucking 4 p.m. I think it's a solid team. No, except for the running backs, there's nothing that blows you out of the water. But again, very little weaknesses, man. Mostly the bench, but that happens when you auto draft.
I don't like the receivers.
Brito could play the waiver wire. What are you talking about, dude? He has
I, I don't like them. I don't think they're an eight.
between Cooper Cup and Tyler Boyd. Is it Tyler Boyd or Taj Boyd? Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, he should have close to 200 receptions between those two guys.
Yeah, but still, Cooper Cup, the third guy on the totem pole, he's sharing with Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods, and he's coming off an injury that ended his season last year. I don't like that.
Bro, I'll tell you this, and you and anybody that's watching this can go back and confirm it. After Cooper Cup got hurt, is when the Rams' offense went to shit. Not when Todd Gurley got hurt. C.J. Anderson was fucking killing it with Cooper Cup in there, but once Cooper Cup was out, they just lagged. They just couldn't get the ball because Robert Woods and
And that's great for real football. I mean, it attracts the attention of defense, but I don't believe in Cooper Cup as a fantasy option. As a fantasy starter overall,
Do you believe in Julian Edelman as a fantasy starter?
no, not really.
Oh, okay, all right. Then you have a valid point. Because they're just the exact same type of player. And Julian Edelman is projected to be a starting wide receiver.
I mean,
Stat wise, too. I think they're the same
in
shit.
in the case of Julian Edelman, there's that unstoppable play that gets him a lot of PPR points, but I don't see a lot of Julian Edelman in the end zone.
Yeah, but there's a lot of receptions. That's also worth something in PPR.
Correct. There are a lot of receptions, not too many yards.
And when you have this running back group to pick up on the touchdown level, because these guys are going to get a ton of touchdowns, or they should. It kind of like it balances out. I like that rating for this team, 8 out of 10.
It may balance out, but I'm not increasing the score of wide receivers based on the receivers that I have there, or based on the running backs. That doesn't raise the level of the receivers. They're on the same fantasy team, but they don't play on the same team.
Okay.
It's okay. I mean, if you bring it down to like a 7, which is what I think, because the lowest you go is 6, right? So I'm not bringing it all the way down to 6. I'll make it a 7. I don't think it hurts the overall grade that much, but I think an 8 for that receiver core is too high.
I got you. That's fair. All right, moving on.
All right, so now is your pick. Well, what do you think? Gotham City Rogues versus fucking 4
I'm
p.m.
picking
Dak.
Gotham City Rogues, dude. That team is so fucking good. I don't know how Dago does it, man, but I got to give credit to the dude, man. Fuck that.
Get off his dick, baby.
I feel like John Gruden and Antonio Brown.
I mean, I think these are the last two dudes to win the fantasy league. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go and pick the Gotham City Rogues this week, though.
All right, let's keep it moving. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 matchups. 1, 2, 3 matchups to go over. So we're almost done. Let's go, baby. Let's battle
All
this
right.
out. Come on,
El
man.
Papá de Daphne versus Game Ponce Gordos. Another pair of cousins that are facing off in the first week.
Oh yeah, Papaya Daphne. You should change that name. That name sucks. This is a team that has like high upsides and then has like really lows. It's like there's not really any in betweens. Let's start with the highs. Quarterback Matt Ryan. I like Matt Ryan for fantasy. This is a 4,500 yard quarterback, probably 30 touchdown quarterback, so he should be solid. I love the running backs: Alvin Kamara, Devontae Freeman. The South is strong in this team. Clearly, I like that running back group. And you have Melvin Gordon in there that, if he comes back, if he does, now you're talking about like a real serious group of running backs. Tight end, 9 out of 10 with Zach Ertz, probably the second best fantasy tight end right now. Kicker, 9 out of 10 with Gostkowski. I mean, this guy's super dependable. How can you rate Gostkowski any less than that? You know what I mean? And then you have the wide receivers, which is like, I give him an 8 out of 10 because I think Robinson and dude, you know what? That's too high.
Again, yeah, I'm telling you.
That's definitely too high. That's a 7 out of 10.
Allen Robinson is an average receiver at best, and he's getting passes from Mitch Trubisky, who
That's
is a roller coaster.
fair enough. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I had an 8 out of 10 here. I don't know what I was thinking. 7 out of 10 for Curtis Samuel is number two. Allen Robinson is number one. But it's a 7 out of 10 on that one. You're right. But again, it adds to what I'm saying. I told you all the highs. Now we're going through all the lows. Wide receiver, the flex position. Since Melvin Gordon is not in, I can't count him as a real flex, right? So you're probably going to have to put in Deshaun Watson, who's a number 2 or 3 receiver in Philadelphia. So he's okay as a flex, but nothing crazy.
Deshaun Watson is the number
Deshaun Jackson.
two. Sorry, Jackson, you're right. 2 or 3 receiver, but he's like probably the fourth or fifth option.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. You,
So
you said it better than I would have said it. Six
yeah, after going through Jeffrey and Ertz and whatever running back X you want to put in there and Aguilar, then maybe it's Deshaun Jackson.
100%. And they got this new kid that's fucking killing it. They got two names that when the name escapes, but he's supposedly going to get a lot of time. Um, and what else? IDP 6 out of 10. This IDP group sucks. I think this was auto drafted, so clearly you're probably going to change all three of them. These are three droppable players. I don't like any of
Yeah, there's a defensive tackle that's not even on the team. um,
them. Yeah.
and you're still carrying N'Keal Harry. How does IR work in football? Right, he doesn't ever make it back.
He's on an 8-week IR. So there's two
Okay.
types of IR. So he could come back mid-season. But the bench gets a 6 out of 10 as well. That's another weakness. Because you got Josh Allen. He's a hit or miss. You got Doyle. And then you got Harris running. He's like the fourth running back. And I'm not even going to go through it. You got a backup kicker as well. 6 out of 10. My initial rating was a 7.7, but since we did drop the wide receiver to 7, that drops it to about 7.5. 7.5 for this team. So at least I'm pretty sure I should beat them this year.
There's clearly room for improvement.
Yeah, they have good pieces, right? But if they work the waiver wire throughout the year, then they should improve on those weak spots, right?
I think so. I think I owned Devontae Freeman last year,
He got
and that
hurt.
was a nightmare. I don't recommend them to anyone.
He only played two
So
games last year, Jay. That's unfair.
good luck with that crap. He's getting older. His his usage isn't what it used to be. The offense last year looked terrible. Let me see. Last year, never mind. It's too much to think about. But nah, good luck with that crap. I mean, I hope you didn't pick him up too high. Try trading him and get stronger in other positions because yeah, you definitely have some room for improvement.
That could work. Call me up. All right, Game Pounds at Goldo. Another team. I think both of these guys have very similar team. Game Pounds at Goldo though is a little bit more balanced up top. Again, weak ass bench. Strengths. Let's go with the running back position with Nick Chubb and James White. So James White's not going to get you a lot of touchdowns, but I owned this guy in like 3 fantasies last year, and he's a constant 12 to 14 points with the PPR. He's getting 8 to 10 receptions every freaking game. Who knows how many he's going to get now? So I like him a lot. Nick Chubb is probably going to be a top 3 running back in football, even though he wasn't drafted as one. Or he should be based on that team. So I really like these running backs 9 out of 10. I really like the flex with Austin Eckler, especially since Melvin Gordon ain't playing. Austin Eckler should see the field a ton. Another PPR monster. And the biggest strength of this team, like the number one strength of this team, and probably the best defense in all of our fantasy teams, has to be on this one. With Bobby Wagner, Jalen Smith, and Luke Kuechly, this is a freaking solid linebacking core. I love this defensive squad. So that's a really good strength. Then you go with the averages, right? With the wide receivers, 8 out of 10 with Roby Anderson, Stephon Diggs, two big-time playmakers that, they're just a play away from giving you 8 points in one play or 10 points in one play. So I like those guys. So 8 out of 10 there. 8 out of 10 at the tight end position with Evan Ingram. I know you Giants fans are expecting him to grow. I expect him to grow as well. So far, I can't rank. We had this tight end conversation in the group. As of right now, I can't rank him high, but he definitely has the potential to get in there into the top ranks. Then finally, the weak spots, man, the bench. Again, the Vasquez cousins got an issue with the bench, bro. I mean, I like Latavius Murray because it's New Orleans and they like to run the ball a lot, but Dante Pettis is a question mark. John Brown, question mark. The other Jay Brown's a question mark. Dallas Goddard is not even worth owning, in my opinion, not yet. Nick Foles is not even worth owning. It's just a lot of droppable players in that bench. So 6 out of 10.
And a
Overall,
backup kicker. Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'm lying. Never mind.
No, he doesn't have a backup kicker. Overall, since your top is pretty well balanced, I like your starting team. 8 out of 10 overall for this team.
And if you want to know how to get a good defense, take him before everyone else does. So he picked Bobby Wagner, Jalen Smith, and Luke Kuechly in rounds 9, 10, and 11. I think that he might have been the first person to go after defensive players. And it makes sense if you got the best defensive player out there, Bobby Wagner.
Yeah. I'm picking gain pounds at Gordo, bro. I'm definitely until Melvin Gordon comes back. I think up by the Daphne has like a pretty big gap in his starting lineup.
Pretty big gap. Jimmy G looked terrible in preseason. Did he ever bounce back? I only saw that one game where he played like shit.
Yeah. He looks old, bro. Since last year.
Garoppolo? Old.
Oh, Jimmy G. I'm thinking Jimmy Graham. So yeah, he did bounce back in his last preseason game. He did come back. I think
Uh,
he's
let,
just getting the groove of things.
let's see how that shit works out. I hope
Yeah.
he's not scared of getting hit again. Um, all things considered, I'm still going to go with game pounds at Gordos. Yeah, I don't see too much output out of your wide receivers. You're projecting very low points at defense and very low points at flex. Even when you substitute for whoever's on your bench, we discussed your bench is not the strongest. So either work that waiver wire before kickoff on Sunday or just take the L this week and hope for the best when Melvin Gordon comes back.
Hmm.
So game pounds at Gordos it is.
Yeah. Oh, we agreed there as well.
All right. So run, Rooks, run versus no Wapagana.
All right.
And I
So
wonder why he called this team no Wapagana. Dago?
so yeah. So
Thanks.
run Rooks run, man. What can I say? Their strongest spots are IDP as well. I love their. This is in my opinion, this is the second best IDP group. I think it's pretty solid. Darius Leonard is not many people apparently knew this. I don't understand. Is the best fantasy defensive player out there. This guy does it all, and I think this year he is finally going to get cemented as the number one overall middle linebacker in all of football over Bobby Wagner and Luke
Ooh.
Kuechly. Darius Leonard is a fucking monster. If you haven't looked this guy up, look up his highlights. He can do it all. Van Der Esch in Dallas, we already know how crazy that guy is. Any white guy playing linebacker is always crazy in the NFL. I mean, seriously, white middle linebackers in the NFL, they're just insane. I love it.
Okay.
What happened?
No.
And then
Okay.
Deion Jones. I like Deion Jones. I mean, I like what he brings to the table. He's going to bring in a couple of sacks for you as well. So, very well balanced defensive team. I like it. Your flex is probably your other highest position with Josh Gordon in there. I like Josh Gordon.
Are you
Until he gets
expecting much out of Josh Gordon? I mean, yeah,
yeah,
he's
until he gets
projecting
suspended.
points, but oh man, there's so many mouths to feed in New England.
Until he gets suspended, yes. I think with the departure of Rob Gronkowski, I think he's going to reap the benefits in the end zone. I think that's where his big value is going to be at.
All right.
Yeah. So then moving on to like the balance, the pretty decent parts. You got Dak Prescott. He should be good, I guess, right? Especially if Zeke returns. Wide receivers: Julian Edelman, Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas brings up your Julian Edelman to an 8 out of 10. Your running backs, another solid 8 out of 10. I like Josh Jacobs, of course. I'm a Raiders fan. He should be getting about 300 carries this year. Le'Veon Bell should be getting about another 300 carries as well. And then your bench, I think your bench is also pretty well balanced with an 8 out of 10. Miles Sanders should be getting the ball a lot as well. Greg Olson's a decent backup. Kyler Murray as your backup quarterback, not hard to go wrong there. He should be good in fantasy, just at least running. Ty Montgomery, a lot of people are down on him, but I love that you have Ty Montgomery with Le'Veon Bell. So you're secured there throughout the whole thing. So that's pretty dope. So overall, 7.8 for this team. The kicker kind of drops him as well. 6 out of 10 for the kicker since they don't have one. I gave him a 6 for not having one.
We know how he plays this game. If
Yeah.
he's down in the last week, he'll
I
pick up
mean,
whatever
you could
kicker
pick up the
spot.
worst kicker in fantasy football, and I don't think any kicker is worse than a 6, bro. Like, you can't predict fucking kickers. Who
Yeah,
cares?
so I don't know why you spent your time ranking them, but hey, man, it's you.
Yeah, 7.8 overall for this team.
7.8. All right, what you got for no Wapagana?
All right, my man. Can we hear it again, Dog? Can we hear it again?
For real, you can take me out.
All right, that's pretty good.
If
Yeah.
that was the draft,
And you are
get
gonna
the
pay me.
fuck out of
Fuck it.
here. I'm not
Another
into it.
team, some good
That was
highs,
fucked
pretty
up.
bad lows.
I thought that it was
Baker Mayfield, 9 out of 10.
tonight.
Come on, man. You can't complain for having Baker Mayfield. This guy
What
can
the fuck is
easily
going on, bro?
be the top quarterback in football right there with Pat Mahomes based on the projections and the team he has and what he did last year. Not many people know, dude, that Baker Mayfield broke the damn touchdown records in only like 12 starts.
A lot of people know, but okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And
Like
it's the the
it's
rookie
not
touchdown record. I mean,
sorry. Yeah, the rookie it's not mentioned enough is what I meant. I
gotcha.
don't
All
feel
right.
it's mentioned enough. Your running backs, 9 out of 10. Whenever you have 9 out of 10 at running backs, good things can happen. I love Devin Cook. Did you see Devin Cook in the preseason, bro? He looked good as hell, man. He looked fresh. Derek
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. Why am I saying the wrong name? Dalvin Cook. Derrick Henry. After that run that he had versus Jacksonville in the playoffs, this guy this guy's legit as hell. Your kicker with 9 out of 10, you have the best kicker in fantasy football with Greg Zuerlein. And your wide receivers,
Legatron.
yeah, and your wide receivers are solid. Julio Jones and Chris Godwin. That's a really good combo to have a wide receiver. I expect Chris Godwin to do a lot, especially playing in the Bucks, playing from behind. He's probably going to get a lot of receptions. And there's going to be a lot of picks from Jameis Winston, but that doesn't have any effect on Chris Godwin, so that's fine. But as every single team that auto drafted, the issue comes at the bench. Unfortunately, the bench kind of sucks. Noah Fant, rookie tight end. I don't trust much of them. I like T.J. Hawkinson because he could block, but Noah Fant can't block. He won't be on the field long. Williams is just a handcuff to Aaron Jones, so you're not going to use him.
Does Denver still have Butt?
Yeah, I think so.
I like Butt.
Demarius Thomas is on your team, a guy that got cut and picked up, so you'd already know what the.
He said Butt.
If I had him on my team, my team name would be I like big butts, but I cannot lie. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Demarius Thomas, he's not gonna do shit either. Torn Achilles, big guy. Yeah. So bad.
You look good in
7.6.
preseason, but again, too many mouths to feed in New England.
7.6 overall for this team.
7.6. All right, make your pick and speed it up. I'm running out of battery here.
All right, man. We're going to the last one, so we're almost done. All right,
Pick.
Run Rooks Run was gonna be my pick for this matchup, bro.
This one's gonna be close. Shit. Just for the sake of argument, I'm gonna go with No Wapagana.
All right, sounds good. Let's go to the next one. Let's finish it up. Let's wrap it up. Hurry up, quick.
Wrapping it up on 12th and BS versus Life Ain't Breezy.
All right, my man Gary, I know you're upset with the team. Your team kind of sucks. It kind of does. But you have Pat Mahomes, right? 9 out of 10 Pat Mahomes. And you have a great kicker in Will Lutz, right? So that's
Gary was Stretch Armstrong this draft. He was reaching all over the place. I mean, I think we were all programmed to wait to pick up a quarterback. Gary picked him up with the third pick.
I'm not going to go down on Gary throughout the season because, I mean, Gary knows how to work the
Hello, somebody please cut and bookmark that. He's not going to go down on Gary.
That didn't come out right. I'm not going to be down on Gary.
And I'm sorry, that wasn't even his third pick. That was his second pick. 17th overall, he went to Pat Mahomes.
I mean, I think that's the spot to get him if you're going to go for Pat Mahomes.
Hell no, you could have waited. Come on.
Yeah, but wide receivers, 7 out of 10 with Sammy Watkins and Larry Fitz. Running backs, 7 out of 10 with Duke Johnson and Phillip Lindsay. Tight end is probably one of your best positions with 8 out of 10 there with Jared Cook.
By the time we drafted, we already knew that Duke Johnson was in Houston. Did we? I think we did. And
yeah, we did. We did know. Yes, because I was looking for him. I wanted him.
We did. Okay, and maybe you captured lightning in a bottle again with Phillip Lindsay, but by going with Mahomes on your second pick, you missed on the opportunity to pick up a Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, overall 7.7 for this team. I mean, their defense is solid. I like their backs at defense. Marcus Lattimore, Keanu Neal, Tyrann Mathieu. I think these are really good guys. They're going to get a lot of passes defended, so they should be good week to week, even though they don't get a lot of tackles per se. Although Keanu Neal does. Keanu Neal is back from injury. He should be pretty good. So, I like their defense. I like their tight end and their quarterback and their kicker. I don't like anything else on this team. 7.7 out of 5.
Reach. Wait, 7.7?
7.7 overall, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Does math not work the way I remember it?
It does, yeah.
You have them higher than you have Run Rooks Run.
No, Run Rooks Run was a 7.8. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was 7.3.
No Wapagana was 7.6.
I think I still would have taken
He's
Nova
right.
Pagana.
7.7. He has the exact same score as El Papa de Daphne,
Hmm.
and I think that's a fair statement. I think they're pretty equal teams.
All right. Well, just remember when you auto draft, guys, auto draft will fill up all your empty slots before picking up a bench. So you're getting a kicker way before you get your last pick.
Yeah, that
Just,
fuck.
just, just so you know. All
That fuck.
right, go ahead. Hurry up. Wrap it up with Life Ain't Breezy.
Life and Breezy. Drew Brees, 9 out of 10. I love this guy. Running backs. Todd Gurley and Leonard Fournette. Love those guys. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 is too high for Drew Brees.
Man, screw you. I love Drew Brees. That's my fucking
We
score.
we just we
I
just.
I am all over Drew Brees every day. I don't care. I
I mean,
love
I,
Drew
I
Brees.
just learned that he didn't even get 4,000 yards this past
But he
year.
had 35 passing touchdowns. I
He's
love
he's
Drew Brees.
trending downward. The team is becoming more run heavy. They realize that when they run more, they win more. I
So
don't
where
know.
do you not understand the part that I said that I love Drew Brees? Is there a problem with me loving Drew Brees?
All right.
I
At,
mean,
at,
yeah,
at some point, these players got to age, man, and you got to take that into
I
consideration.
don't care. I
Man.
fucking love Drew Brees. I'm not being like fucking biased at all. I like Drew Brees. I'm gonna give him a 9 out of
You're
10.
not being objective at
It's
all. Is
my
what you're
fucking
doing.
rating. Yeah,
You're
I'm not
being
being
totally
objective.
biased.
That's what I meant. Thank you for the correction. Jesus, it's
Gotcha.
late. I'm tired.
All right, go
God,
for it.
I love Drew Brees, man. And it's called Life Ain't Breezy.
Stupid name.
Running backs, 9 out of 10. Todd Gurley and Fournette, love him. Tight end, 9 out of 10. Hunter Henry. Everybody's expecting this guy to be Antonio Gates 2.0, so I'm going to go with that hype. IDPs, 9 out of 10 as well. Love the IDPs on this team. This is one of the better IDP teams. Too bad that don't mean shit. So 7.8 overall because your bench sucks. Sterling Shepard is over fucking rated. I don't expect shit from him. I hope I'm wrong for your sake. You're a
At
Giants fan.
least for the first 5 weeks of the season, he should be the number one option there.
That doesn't mean he'll be good, right? Because it's Eli Manning throwing the ball.
He's
That no,
dependable. He gets balls. I mean, it's PPR. He's gonna get catches. He gets in the end
yeah.
zone.
I just see him like an 8 to 9. Like I see him struggling to get to double digit points week to week. Maybe I'll be wrong.
Points. He
Yeah,
might get double-digit touchdowns.
I'm talking about his fantasy on the
I
fantasy.
know.
Yeah, for him to throw double digit touchdowns, you're saying you're banking on Eli Manning throwing a lot of fucking touchdowns for him to get double digits.
I mean, the talk in the town is that it might not be Eli Manning for too long, but hey,
The bench sucks. Chris Thompson, Kenny Stills, Reuben Foster, Nelson Aguilar, all of them are droppable players in my opinion. Naheem Hines and Sterling Shepard are your best ones. Your kicker sucks uh, with Roses from the Giants. Why are there so many Giants fans? Daryl, what the fuck, Daryl? You have so many Giant players. Oh, my God.
hey, man,
But,
we
hey,
were
I
born
can't
and bred.
judge. I also picked the Raiders kicker for no reason, so it's fine. But fair enough, I gave myself a 6 out of 10 for my kicker. You get a 6 out of 10 for your kicker as well. Your flex is Mohamed Sanu. That's the third wide receiver in Atlanta. Although it's a great offense, a third wide receiver, I can't give you any more than a 7 out of 10 for having a third wide receiver.
Yeah, for sure. If you're gonna do that, might as well go Shepard at flex.
Yeah, right? That would make more sense. That would probably bring it up, but your bench would still suck. 7.8 overall for this team. A little bit better than on 12 and bullshit, but still kind of whatever.
I, based on how you judged everyone else, I can't really dispute the 7 and 8, 7.8 rather. But
The Drew Brees ranking bumps it up a little bit. I helped him out because I really like Drew Brees.
yeah, you got possibly
But in reality,
debatably
he's probably lower.
you got debatably the best receiver in football. You have potentially, I mean, it depends now how they use him. It's everything is different around them, but you have PPR God and Jarvis Landry. A lot of question marks in terms of health with Gurley and Fournette, but they are league winners if they're at peak health.
That's right.
And shit, this team is way strong at the top. I mean, it just kind of boils down to hope no one really gets hurt, and that some of these coin flips land, more heads and tails.
Yeah, one injury or a bye week, and this team is total crap. But right now, they look pretty good. So at 7.8, I think is a fair statement.
All right, I'm gonna go with Life Ain't Breezy this week.
I mean, yeah, I might as well. I mean, Gary ain't high on his team, so I'm not gonna pick him. So yeah, Life and Breezy. I'm cool with that pick.
I mean, is that your pick?
Yeah, I'm going with Life and Breezy.
All right. So that is the way that we break down week one. Stay tuned to next week of the unofficial commentators, where we review the results of how it went down last week, where we were right, where we were wrong. Shit, I'm gonna practice saying that. Where we were right, where we were wrong. And we're also going to preview the next week. Stay tuned also to the unofficial commentators on Instagram, Facebook, and UC_podcast on Twitter. Paki will be there giving you guys some waiver tips. Hopefully, you guys don't steal his guys,
Yeah,
but
there's not
do
much waiver to do right now, though.
because why not? Absolutely not. But after week one, there'll for sure be something to talk about. And without further ado, that's going to be it for me. You got anything else, Paki?
Yeah, if you guys disagree with any of the ratings, if you want to bring anything, just put it in the comment section. I don't care if it's positive or negative, man. Just throw it in there. It'll be fun. We'll make it a conversation.
Sure. Let's converse. All right, and Dago, take us away. Let's hear some more rambling about how bad the draft was.
Yeah, I'm about to leave like Brito left the chat, by the way.
Ooh,
Peace
shit.
out.
What it do, baby? I'm out.
For real, you can take me out. If that was the draft, get the fuck out of here. I'm not into it. That was fucked up. I thought that it was tonight. What the fuck is going on, bro? Shit. I'm not gonna pay shit, bro. I always into my draft. I'm always looking. I'm always everything. Fuck you guys. Like, fuck everything. No, que me saquen, loco, de verdad. No, 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 no. Que esto no sea el draft de verdad. De verdad. Imagino que es esta noche como siempre lo ponemos en la noche. Sí, mamá huevos, tengo un J moment. I don't give a fuck. O sea, si de verdad es el draft, fuck this shit. De verdad. No, no, no. Yo soy el que siempre estoy poniendo de que subamos la apuesta, subamos esto. I lose, I don't give a fuck. But no, fuck this shit, bro. De verdad. Paki, you know me. No, no, no. Si es así, get the fuck out of here.
Tú gastas tu tiempo porque quieres, porque nadie te dice que haga un video y haga un video para lo que es like pics and everything. That's your own time. You do whatever you want with it, but you need to understand everybody has a lot of time like you guys do. But I don't care. I already said I'm just trying to side a little bit on the same chef side because you guys just want to do whatever you guys want. So it's whatever. Say before, I can deal with what I got. I don't mind it. Y como dije, si chef no paga, yo le pago al que gane. Stop crying now. Bueno, yo sí digo una cosa, es la verdad. Si autodraftaron más de 7, se tiene que hacer otra vez el draft, porque eso significa que nadie tiene la hora correcta. Eso es mala administración. Y vuelvo y repito, vamos a hacer un coup d'etat, todo el mundo no juega la liga. Aquí se arma una liga con los dos que no quieren, soltar la vaina, que son Paki y Jay, porque no tienen oficio para hacer un video en YouTube. Digo yo.